What's up? What's up? What's up? What's going on, everybody? This is your man, Dre Mack, with another episode of the Dre Mack Podcast
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's going on, everybody? This is your man Dre Mack with another episode of the Dre Mack Podcast Show, episode 200. And I really can't believe that I went through 200 episodes. Actually, it's a little bit more than that because I still got the Legend of the Petty Nerds podcast that I was doing for a minute, so it's a little bit more than that. But as far as the Dre Mack Show, this is episode 200. So, of course, I wanted to celebrate, like I celebrate my birthday or anytime I want to celebrate. I'm going to celebrate it with my brother. So I got my brother Rico Sauve up in the house with me, celebrating episode 200. What's up with it, bro?
What's happening? It's a great occasion right here, boy. Get a great occasion.
Right.
I'm proud of you. Proud of you, boy. Proud of you.
So episode 200, everybody, if you don't know, make sure that you guys are following me on YouTube. This is live right now on YouTube. Make sure you subscribing on YouTube because I'm still giving away a $25 gift card to, a $25 gift card once I hit 100 subscribers. So don't forget to make sure that you check, go to the YouTube channel and subscribe, hit the bell notification because that'll let you know anytime that I got the video coming up. I started this podcast literally August of 2017. And I'm telling y'all now, people want to do podcasts. I'm like, man, I want to be a podcaster. I want to be a podcaster. How do I podcast? Dude, you're literally talking to nobody sometimes. You're just talking in a room, discussing your feelings. And you might not have a lot of people that's going to watch you. You know, I'm telling y'all now, stick with it. Because I'm telling you, it's plenty of times I wanted to quit. There's plenty of times that I was like, this ain't working. This ain't worth it. But I continue to strive because I know that there's people that's listening to this right now that love this content. So make sure if you want to get into this, you want to do it right. You know what I'm saying? Don't quit. You know, have a good team of people around you so you can be able to make it successful. No matter if you're talking to yourself or if you have guests, appearances by certain people or you start talking to celebrities, know that your grind is worth it no matter what. So don't look at someone else, and what they're doing is success. Know that what you're doing is success. Success is the only thing that you program in your mind that you believe is successful. So if you get up every day to do your thing, you're successful. But let me cut all that because me and Rico now.
Hallelujah.
But so we've been trying to do, I've been trying to do an episode breakdown of WandaVision, but I've been working my behind off since episode 3. So I haven't really came and gave you guys the breakdowns of the episodes. So what I'm gonna do today is we're gonna go back to episode 4, 5, 6, and 7. We're gonna talk about all of it because this is literally what I wanted, what I want this episode to be. On tomorrow, I am gonna have another podcast, and that is being Black and Trans in America. We're going to have a special guest on, Amber Moore, that's going to talk about being Black and Trans in America. So make sure you guys are tuned in because it's going to be a really good episode. A lot of knowledge, a lot of things that need to be discussed. So make sure you guys are checking it out tomorrow. But let's do this. Let's go ahead and start breaking down the synopsis of episode. I'm going to go through each episode 4, 5, 6, and 7, and then break down the synopsis. So give me just a second. Matter of fact, let's do this. Give me just a second. I'm gonna go to Disney Plus real quick because Disney Plus actually gives you the synopsis because it's their show. So let me go there first, and let's go from let's go from there. So let's go episode 4. Episode 4 was a Monica Rambeau basic story. It was Monica Rambeau with a task with a special assignment regarding city and weapons goes missing. That is the episode where she came back from being blipped. That's when she found out her mother passed, and then that's when she found out about director Hayward, and we got a little bit more information about Sword. Episode 5, which is titled "A Very Special Episode," is one that addresses Vision's worries when he grows suspicious of the neighbor's strange behavior. And of course, in that particular episode, we know that this is when Wanda and Vision kind of got into it. That was the the introduction of Pietro Maximoff. Episode 6 was the Halloween spectacular, the all new Halloween spectacular, where a disturbance on a Halloween separate Wanda from Vision, who looks to find out what's going on with the activities in Westview. In that episode, we knew the Vision tried to go outside of the dome. And then that particular portion, so we're going to talk about that. And we're also going to talk about breaking the fourth wall in episode 7, where Monica plots her return. Wanda navigates unsettling complications and Vision forms a new alliance. So let's go back to episode 4. This was the Monica Rambeau episode. Rico, tell me exactly what you thought about that episode. I'm gonna start getting some of these comments in. I got my man Christian McDonald. What's up with my boy? And don't talk about the Celtics right now, Christian. Man, I'm so mad at them. They had a 2-for-1, and Kimber throwing up trash shots. So I don't even want to talk about them right now. I don't even want to discuss them right now. They oh God, I was so hot. But anyway, so let's go back to episode 4. In episode 4, what are some of the things, Rico, that you saw in episode 4 that you really liked? And, what did you think was some of the breakdowns as we go along now to where we get to episode 7?
Well, now that I'm sitting back watching it again, this was the one that showed everybody that Marvel was for real. I think the previous episodes were still structured as vintage TV shows, and then when this one came on, it came on with the aftermath of the blip, like when everybody came back. This showed everybody that yes, this is a MCU show. Marvel is for real. Sit back and enjoy the show, because I think we had so many detractors from the first 2 episodes. The third episode really got people on it, but we had a lot of detractors from the first 2 episodes because they didn't really understand what Marvel was trying to do,
right,
and the structure of what they was trying to set up. So
especially with the way the TV shows was.
Yeah, so once they seen this one, because this sort of like, you know what I'm saying, like when you watch like Dragon Ball and they show you like an episode of what happened before, you usually don't get that in TV shows. Sometimes you get that in like the Flash, you know what I'm saying. Arrow did it a lot, where they showed you before what happened, so you get context of what's going on. And I hate the fact that there were so many detractors because they wasn't paying attention. But this is the one episode that, you know what I'm saying, basically told the detractors, hey, it's still Marvel, it's still the MCU. They still on it, so you stay on.
Right, and what I liked about episode 4, it gave more context of who Sword was. But remember, they didn't talk about Sword until this particular episode, so we got to find out a little bit more about Sword. You know what I'm saying? We got introduced to director Hayward. You know, we got introduced to basically everything. The team, Darcy, Jimmy Woo, everybody kind of came into play to show you. And this particular episode, what I really liked about episode 4, it was an episode 4 that was strictly for fans, because everything that we were asking about in the show, they were saying literally while they were watching the show with us, saying the same things that we're saying, but it's them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They like writing on the whiteboard, all of this stuff, all the conspiracies
that
we
whiteboard,
had.
yes. That whiteboard was awesome. The whiteboard was exactly what we had. Not jotting down on notepads and watching video after video, wondering who's doing this, when, where, and why. Is it the Skrulls? Is it Agnes? Is it, oh my Lord. Yes. So, and just the acting. I have never seen a show where so many actors are on point. I'm talking about a TV show. You see it in movies, but in TV shows where every acting is, I'm talking about the Wu
Everybody's
character,
on.
Darcy character, Monica character, even
Right.
Hayward. Why do we hate him so much?
Because he's a good character. Yeah, a good actor.
Obviously, he's playing his part to the T. That's why we hate this guy so much. We knew he was rotten from the time he said Monica and walked
right.
up.
Right.
Guy,
not Captain,
terrible,
not
right?
Captain Rambo. It was Monica.
Yeah. I don't like this guy. Yeah.
And then let's talk. So the acting is on point. You know, Kate Dennis character. You know, I love me some Kate Dennis. Ever since Two Broke Girls, I love me some Kat Dennis. So you got her coming in. And like Rico knows, I was watching Thor: The Dark Thor, Thor: The Dark World today. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the last time we seen her character. And I just thought about it. I was like, dude, this came out in 2013. And we haven't literally seen her character since then. So she comes back. She's awesome. You got Catherine Hong. Oh, man. Oh, my God. Just awesome. You know what I'm saying? As far as her character, the way her character is, just completely awesome.
Hey. Let's save her.
Yeah, we're going to save her for last.
Episode 7.
Yeah, we're going to save her for last.
Episode 7.
But I'm talking about just the pure acting, because the reason why I'm saying the pure acting, because episode 1, 2, and 3, the sitcoms that they were in, you're going from the 50s, 60s, 70s, and the way they transitioned every single character in the 50s, 60s, 70s made it feel like you were back in those shows at that particular time, or you was in an episode of The Twilight Zone, or you was in the Alfred Hitchcock show. You know what I'm saying? Until you get to like episode 5, which episode 5, you know, was that particular episode when you start to see a little bit of the change, because that's when the twins were born in the 70s. You know, they basically aged up in the 80s sitcom, and I loved it because of that's our decade of television. You know what I'm saying? Where, you know, we were watching Silver Spoons, watching Punky Brewster, watching all these shows, and when they did that particular episode, it literally just reminded me of, like, man, those were the good time, Family Ties, and all of that stuff. Like, dude, that was kind of a good era for television, man. That's the stuff that I kind of miss.
You can also see the transition of television through this show.
Right.
I'm talking about they're hitting it right out the park with every episode. They're using every genre and every type of trope you can think of to make you feel like you're watching, like episode 1 and 2. I literally thought I was watching a Dick Van Dyke and Bewitched.
Yeah.
And then when you seen that the opening credits to episode, what was that? What we talking about? 4?
This is 4.
Oh man, with the paint and the canvas painting.
Oh, that's episode 5. Episode 5.
Yeah,
was that Growing Pains or was that Family Ties?
Straight back to Family Ties, man.
Yeah. Back. Let's talk about this, because I forgot on episode 4 is when Monica got Hadou kicked right out of the bubble. Now, we're going to talk about this later, but when people are still missing this. When she got blasted out of the bubble, she still had the energy, you know, that Monica pushed her out from. You see what I mean? What Wanda pushed her out from, that was still on Monica's body. When she exited out of the bubble, it was still crackling all over her. Then it died off, almost like it seeped into her. And this is something that I'm kind of thinking about too. You know what I'm saying? Because when I watched Thor today, it was something when Jane Foster got the ether on her, it seeped in her body. You know what I'm saying? The energy seeped in her body, and they could see what the energy was. Just the ether was pure energy. Is an infinity stone basically, but it was still pure energy. So the energy was seeped inside of her. If you watch that, if you go back and you watch that 70s clip when she busted her right out of the when everything got real, and that's what I love about this, because it showed it when it got real, it shrank the aspect ratio to back to movie format. She get booted out of the bubble. She still had the energy on her, all that energy that's in there, plus the barrier rewriting her cells. So I personally believe accidentally Wanda gave her powers along with the hex. What do you think about that?
Okay, so let me give you something to ponder. The MCU needs a big bad. We're all talking about Mephisto. We're all talking about Nightmare. Hopefully, Doctor Doom. But what if it is Wanda? What if she is?
I would want her to be the
even
big bad.
What if she is even more powerful than all the Infinity Stones combined?
I believe she is, and we're gonna get into that when we start talking about episode 6, and we start talking about the commercials from episode 6. But I do believe that, because in episode 7 she said something, you know what I mean, that we all believe we all think you're crazy. We all think you're the villain. We all think that. We're not stupid. You know what I mean? And so
that would give credence to what you're saying, that Wanda's strong enough to give somebody power if they was already predisposed to having power.
You talking about about the X gene?
Let's say if Darcy did the same thing Monica did. She went into the bubble, Wanda knocked her back out. Do you think Darcy going back in would give her Captain Marvel power?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I think so. Monica somehow was predisposed. And I go back to, okay, so you remember when Darcy was talking about her cells.
Right.
And she said she'd have seen so many like cell charts and blood things.
Right.
I kind of think, I know her mom had cancer, but maybe she possibly had cancer too.
It could have been.
You know what I'm saying? The combination of the cancer, on top of the combination of the blip, on top of the combination of coming back from the blip, on top of the combination of getting smacked through the barrier 3 times. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So it could have been, okay, so let me kind of break this down. So you're saying that she could have been predisposed to some type of chemotherapy at one point in time in her life. You know what I'm saying?
Something.
And AT Carroll didn't bring her the elixir that she said she was going to get. You know what I'm saying?
Never showed up.
She never showed up. That's why she's mad at it. Because she never. Okay, so you know your mom's dying of cancer. You know you have the elixir that you was going to get at Tony Stark. You never gave it to her mom. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Knowing she was on. And see, the thing was, Captain Marvel knew what happened on Earth. She knew what happened. You know what I mean? So you're telling me not one time, you know what I'm saying, through that 5-year period, you never came back to Earth to come check on her mom. You know what I mean? And so you gotta play. We got a problem.
And obviously they're gonna delve more into that
in the Captain Marvel 2. Yeah. Oh yeah. But they gotta set up her origin.
Which, obvious.
Right. And of course they have to get into her origin, because you know, want to just show y'all that I got the origin story of Captain Marvel right here. You know what I'm saying? What is that? The Amazing Spider-Man King Annual number 16. Got that in really good condition right there. But even in that particular story, it's almost
like you right now. I don't like you right now.
But check this out. So even in that story, she made a heroic effort to sacrifice herself for change. You know what I'm saying? In her particular case, her cells was predisposed to the energy that came off of the explosion that gave her the Captain Marvel powers. So it could be that she was predisposed, or you know, you're going with your mother every day, so she's battling cancer, so you know exactly what happens with cells, with cancerous cells. So I think that was it. And I also believe that, I don't know if they might retcon her to say that she was predisposed to have a particular gene that gave her powers, aka the X gene, something that they're going to really kind of dive into in the Eternals movie. So it could be that.
Let me ask you a question. Since you do have that comic sitting behind you.
Oh yeah, it's right here. Let me pull that one more. Let me pull that one more time.
Is she?
Here we go again. Now,
Is she considered a mutant in comics?
Not,
I mean, I know
she's not considered a mutant in comics. But remember, you have to be born with the X gene, and then it has to manifest through puberty. But I believe in the Eternals. When Jack Kirby was writing the Eternals, I believe that in the new, of course, in the new guys, but I believe that they wanted to show between the Devious and the what's the other? Was the Devious and the you know this
the Eternals, right? The Devious and the Eternals, right?
Okay, the Devious and the Celestials. You have the Celestials, Devious, Eternals. So so you know the Devious was basically everybody was messed around with by the Celestials. Basically, they were down there mutating people's genes, basically admixing with the human beings and other species. And they kind of like did this slightly with Ego the Living Planet. If you go back and watch Guardians of the Galaxy 2, they actually because Ego was a Celestial.
Yeah, he was a Celestial.
And he went and he was trying to make children, but he was killing them, killing the women, giving them cancer, right?
Yeah,
like he did with Peter Quill's mom, right? So he was probably of course he's the only one that survived, so he was already half Celestial, half human because they kind of redid his origin story from the comics. But they could do that. Say you have a an eternal gene where you're predisposed. If you were predisposed to certain radiation, that's what the CMBRs are anyway, is radiation. So that radiation, similar to the Hulk, was lying dormant in your genes. So that allows you to take on superhuman ability because you're secretly or an eternal from way back. You know what I mean? So that could be it. Same thing with Spider-Man. Same thing. Because all of this has to do with radioactivity. Anytime somebody is exposed to radio waves, radioreactive waves, they somehow become powerful. Captain America, the Hulk, you know what I'm saying? Because Thor don't count because he's a god, you know what I mean, in Marvel Comics, but human level characters, Daredevil, you know what I'm saying, to get exposed to some type of radiation, some type of toxic waste, something. They always get powers. And here I am, been bit by a spider in my eye, and I ain't getting no kind of powers except for almost blindness. So why can't I have powers? Why can't I go around slapping people because I've been creepy? Hey, if you ever read, I'm telling you, if you ever read this,
in the wrong reality,
the Amazing Spider-Man Annual 16, Spider-Man slaps the mess out of Captain Marvel because he didn't know who she was, and Iron Man and Wasp had to say like, Peter, chill out. What are you doing? You just slapped her unconscious. So that's like literally the funniest part. It's sad, but it's literally the funniest part of that whole comic.
Sometimes you got to slap a Captain Marvel. Sometimes.
All right, so Monica gets booted out of episode 4. Episode 5. That's the episode where we start talking about when Wanda starts basically not kind of showing her hand, showing her magic ability around Agnes, quote unquote, around Agnes. That's when Sparky the Sparky the dog came about.
This is the Family Ties episode, right?
Family Ties episode.
Yeah. Okay.
So with the Family Ties episode, what did you like about that episode? Like, what was the turning point of that episode?
You see a lot of Catherine Hahn. You see a lot of Agatha in that. You know what I'm saying? And she started laying the seeds of, of what she's doing ever so slightly. Like when the kids grow up, she don't make a move. I'm talking about don't make like it was normal. I'm talking about sitting there, sipping back, drinking a cognac. All she needed was a Black and Mild and a Go hat.
She be Shannon Sharp.
Man, you know what I'm saying? She's picking it. Like kids gonna do what they gonna do.
Did you notice? Okay, so nobody really paid any attention at the time, but when she's spraying the kids with lavender, purple lavender. She's doing it in a circular motion like she's stirring a pot, like a witch would stir a brew. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but she throws it off by
like
saying, well, Ralph, right. You know what I'm saying? But she was spreading around, and then they age up on her. And when she's sipping that drink, she was like, you can't control kids. No matter how hard you try. And she just the look that she had, they played it for a laugh. But me, I'm sitting back like,
even at the time, if you take the laugh track out, because you know what I'm saying. Remember, this is just like a TV show, so they got a laugh track. So they determine when you're supposed to laugh. So what you do is ignore the laugh track and just listen to the dialogue. She gets serious as hell.
She was
sitting up there like,
because she couldn't get those kids,
no matter how hard you try.
She couldn't get the kids at the time.
She's serious as hell. And you know what I'm saying, they hit the laugh track to make you think it's a funny part.
It's a funny gag, but it's really not.
It really ain't.
So that was one of the things that the kids age up. As a matter of fact, they aged up twice in that episode because they had the dog, then the dog became Sparky.
About to age up a third time.
It's about to age up. They aged up. Okay, they were born, aged up to 5, then they aged up to 10. And then that's where you get the conflict between Wanda and Vision. And one thing that I liked about this particular episode with the conflict between Wanda and Vision is because I don't know if you remember, a lot of people remember 80s TV. 80s or early 90s TV, but that's what they used to do. It'll be a funny moment, but they'd get real serious on you. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, like Family Ties used to do it all the time.
All the time. You know what I mean? Especially Michael J. Fox's character in The Dad.
What was the one with the little black guy? The two brothers who got adopted by the white family.
Oh, you talking about Different Strokes?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they used to get serious all the time too.
What you talking about, Mr. D?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Remember they had the molester episode. Yeah, that was some serious. That was some serious shit, right?
I mean, but again, that was the golden age. I would say that was the golden age where you can incorporate seriousness in a comedy. You know what I'm saying? And you know, who was notorious for that, honestly, was what's his name? Was The Cosby Show was notorious for doing that. You'll be laughing, and then next thing you know, you got this real serious part. Fresh Prince took that same approach. We're talking about, you know what I'm saying? Sitcoms like that. Of course, Family Ties and all of that always had that serious moment. Roseanne was like that, had the serious moments. So you had those touches of different world had those serious moments. So that's what I liked about the episode. But what I really liked was the acting from Paul Bettany and from Elizabeth Olsen. I mean, Elizabeth Olsen has killed her. Everybody has, but I'm like, Elizabeth Olsen, man. Like, now we know, and it takes precedence to now we know why they can explain why she was losing her Sokovian accent. Now it takes precedence to know why certain things were certain type of ways. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, all of a sudden she's Sokovian, now she's talking to Vision with an American accent. We're like, why? Because you're trying to fantasize what is perfect in your world, because technically you're a little nuts. So this actually, the storytelling in here is making it where you kind of understand Wanda a little more in knowing why that they're telling the story the way that they are. And matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, this is the episode where Pietro comes out.
Yeah, shows up at the end. Okay,
so before that, didn't she go out? No. That's the next episode. That's on. No, what was that, episode 5 or was that episode 5 where she walked out of the bubble too?
Out. Yeah, that was the same episode.
Yeah, that was the same episode. That's how good that. To me, I think that's still the best episode. Even though all the episodes are good, that's the best episode. That one
when she went out that bubble, man.
Right.
Man. But that's what I want to talk about. The contrast from when she's 50s Wanda, 60s Wanda, 70s Wanda, the range of acting you gotta have to mimic these different genres of acting. I'm talking about you really have to study these shows to get them down. And then on top of the contrast of being in sitcom mode, Wanda, as opposed to outside the bubble, Sokovian, I'm pissed off, Wanda. I'm talking about.
I mean,
If she don't, what's the TV show awards you get? The Golden Globe,
I don't know.
Emmys, something. She need all of them.
You need all of them because she completely killed.
And Paul Bettany, because
Paul Bettany's good.
First of all, I didn't know he was funny.
I didn't either. The dude is very funny.
This dude be having me rolling.
I'm talking about like funny.
He had the Dick Van Dyke down. You know what I'm saying? He had that down. And then this last episode, him and Darcy.
Oh yeah, man. During the Modern Family era, that was very good.
This dude is funny. I didn't know this dude was funny.
So episode 6, of course, that's when we have the Halloween episode. Everybody's in their classic uniforms. You got Uncle P is what the kids is calling him. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, he has the Pietro from the Age of Ultron. He had his powers. You know what I mean? But at that particular time, we didn't know where this dude came from and the questioning that he was had, which was awesome. It seemed like this is the thing about when you love what you do. Everybody's so in tune about making this thing work because they really like it and they know it's going to work. Even Evan Peters, who was just in the Fox universe, is in this universe playing another version of Quicksilver, and he's freaking awesome. Like, he is awesome. And they do one of my favorite shows, you know what I'm saying, which was Malcolm in the Middle. That's literally one of my favorite sitcoms of the 2000s. Malcolm in the Middle is hilarious. You know what I'm saying? That's why I first fell in love with like Bryan Cranston and his character in the show. Then to see when he was acting in Breaking Bad or whatever, like, go watch Malcolm in the Middle. He was made for this. You know what I mean? So that particular episode was really good. You got to see the twins, get their powers and everything. You know what I mean? That's when you see Wanda, expand the hex. You get to see Agnes, which. Like I said, I already knew she was lying. I knew she was lying when she was sitting in that car. I knew she was lying. She's talking.
I'm mad at everybody on YouTube and on social media talking about, oh, we were right. And I knew it. Man, that was everybody knew that.
Yeah,
man.
We all knew that. I mean, at first I had my regards, but the old lady never came back. I said,
I told you.
When they put up her picture, with an ID on, I was like, all right, maybe okay, she's Agnes then. Because I was just like, because of all the swerves, it's like everything is a swerve, and I'm like, I like that because
especially that Halloween episode. But I knew she was lying. But that was the biggest swerve of all because it made it seem like, you know what I'm saying, she was, oh my God, you know what I'm saying, she was with the townspeople. But me and you had that conversation. And we talked about it like, nah, she was lying. It's too many inconsistencies in her story. That is lying.
Right. And plus, everybody now, this is what I tell people. Look at the details. While Vision is walking from the beginning when he walked out and said he was part of the neighborhood watch, all the way till he got to the end of the street, people start falling off. And what I mean by that is that you have people walking, you have people doing the same motion over and over again, and a single teardrop coming out their eye. Like, this is getting a little goosebumpy to the point where
it's sort of like if you was playing Grand Theft Auto 5 and you somehow can break the game to where the game stops working once you get outside a certain area. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can see it up at the top. It'll start slowing down once you see way out far away, like the cars will get slower. And it is, you know what I'm saying? It's basically like a video game. Everybody started glitching. And the farther away you get from Wanda or Agnes or whoever was controlling whoever, you know what I'm saying? They started slowing down, but Agnes didn't. They was at the edge, but she wasn't stopped.
She wasn't. Right. That's what I'm saying. So and then she was talking. I'm like, nobody else is talking. Everybody else is stuck. She the only one talking. Nah, I missed me with that because she was part of this universe. She would not be talking. She'd just be stuck. You know what I'm saying? But they gave that away on the Marvel kind of gave that away in the previews prior to WandaVision even coming on, because they already showed you that preview of her and that laugh. And we all know Catherine Hong also played, the female Doc Ock in the Into the Spider-Verse. So she could play an evil character. You know what I mean? So I kind of knew that was coming. But I would get to it in just a second, because when she did it, when she revealed herself, it was
the way they dropped that.
Man,
the way they dropped it.
Awesome. So, and again, Uncle P got Hadou. I ain't gonna lie, Wanda cannot wait to Hadou kick somebody. Like when she ready to give you the Hadouken, she give you the Hadouken. She Hadouken. Now, as Quicksilver knew that was coming, he should have ran past that, but he got hit. You know what I'm saying? That was the end of him for that episode. Then we go to episode 7, which this is where I really want to cover, because this is the latest episode. And then, we're gonna come back on next Saturday or next Sunday and do episode 8. But the breaking the fourth wall episode, this was the Modern Family episode, which I like Modern Family too. Modern Family mixed The Office and stuff like that. The reason why I like this so much is because you got to see the origin of Captain Marvel. That's what made it. That's what you get to see, the origin of. I call her Captain Marvel. You call her Spectrum. You call her Photon. You know what I'm saying? In that comic, she's Captain Marvel. You know what I'm saying? First introduction to Captain Marvel.
She got more nicknames than Shaq and Deion Sanders.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So you get to see the manifestation of or Spectrum. So you got to see the manifestation of a hero. In reason why, because she could have easily said, nope, I see what happened to that truck. I'm not about to be a van. You know what I mean? Or whatever. So the courage that she took, because at first I was like, why are you running in there without the spacesuit, at least? But then I kind of understood. If she got in that barrier before, she thinking she could get in that barrier again. And she probably knew something. Once she seen those lab results in episode 5, she knew.
I think she knew when she seen the X-ray.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The lab results in the X-ray. When she's like, she knew. She's literally been around a superhero since she was a kid. So she knew what was going on and what could have been. She knew that. So for her to basically to sacrifice herself, for one, was awesome. For two, I've never been that excited for a superhero origin before. I'm sitting there like, oh snap, she about to do it. She about to die. I'm sitting there like, oh.
And the courage to for Marvel to have an origin story in a TV show.
Right. That was
TV show.
Right. That was awesome. And then to answer Jericho's question, because he said, didn't Captain Marvel become Miss Marvel? So the original Captain Marvel was Captain Marvel. It was a guy. It was a Kree soldier. And he was the first Captain Marvel. So when she became when Carol Danvers came and basically took the mantle, she became Miss Marvel. So she was Miss Marvel, basically a B- character that only people that really liked her because they drew her body voluptuous. But she was a nobody, honestly. So when Monica Rambeau's character came about, she was the first female Captain Marvel. So you had Captain Marvel, the man, he got killed off. Nobody cared about him. Then you had Captain Marvel, the female, who got introduced in the Amazing Spider-Man annual number 16. And then later on, when they reintroduced Captain Marvel, they called her Photon. You know what I'm saying? And then Miss Marvel, after getting her powers back,
she gave her name away.
And all this other crap. And then that's when Carol Danvers became Captain Marvel. After being Miss Marvel, when literally, we know House of, me and Rico know House of M story. Even in that story, she was a nobody, and Wanda gave her the power to be the most popular superhero in all of America. And we found out after seeing the results, we found out Carol Danvers, that was a lie. You wasn't the most popular character in anywhere. So they didn't even care. So So yeah, so in this one, we see her origin story. We see her get her spectrum powers. Basically, she could be able to see energy waves. You know what I'm saying? Photon power. She can see the energy that's around her. Wanda tried to get what? And my man E-Man from E-Man's movie review said this earlier. Why do Wanda keep coming for Monica? I mean, she always coming for Monica. She always, as soon as she see Monica, she like, oh, it's on now. I didn't knock you through the fourth wall before. I can do it again. And then this time,
but for some reason, I think Wanda got a respect for Monica though. Because every time she run up on her, she really don't do nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Okay, first, just like Monica said, man, she helped Wanda have her kids. First and foremost, she had Wanda have her kids. So, and she said, I owe you a debt of gratitude. She literally said that to her so I think that's always stuck in Wanda's head, even when she was like, damn, you still here? And she was about to get gangster. Right. But again,
she tried to load it up on her.
She always let Monica talk. She always do. And
because she's really the voice of reason right now.
And she always let her talk. She always let her get, because she don't really got to let her get her point across at all. She could just go gangster on her, let out her. She just could have just went gangster on her.
Right.
And when she was about to go gangster, as you see, it was directed towards Hayward and not towards Monica.
Right.
And again, you know what I'm saying? She put her in the sky, you know what I'm saying? But she didn't really like push her out because she was still talking to her. You know what I'm saying? And the dialogue they was having while they was going out the door was fantastic.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
She was like, "Wait, Pedro, that wasn't us. Hold on, don't put that on us."
It's like Pedro. It's like, that ain't me. I didn't do that.
Don't put that on us.
Don't put that on me. I don't know.
Wanda, she always let her get her say out. Always. She always let her. So she holds some type of respect for her
because she's the only voice of reason. You know what I'm saying? She's literally the only voice of reason that actually makes sense. And it's almost like in the storyline in the House of M, where you had certain heroes that was like, let's not kill Wanda. Let's try not.
Yeah.
And in the comics, it was Captain America, but like, that ain't right. Professor X, that ain't right. Let's try not to kill her, and let's see what we can do after that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So she's the voice of reason, but when she hit that, when she start powering up, it's almost like this is remind me of Dragon Ball Z so much. It's because when the first time Vegeta tried to fight Goku, and when he found out that when Nappa found out that power level, he was like, oh snap, he can box. He can box. What?
Yeah.
So when she hit her with that
blue.
Yeah, when she turned blue and hit the superhero landing, it took her back. Like, oh, where she get that from? where she learn that move from? You know what I'm saying? Anytime somebody makes a superhero landing,
hey, did I do that? Shit. Did I do that?
Because I really believe because her power came from the Mind Stone, and unlocked that power when she shot that power at her. And if the dome rewrites your cells, even minutely, and she went through this, she went in, she went out with a blast of energy. You know what I mean? Then went back in. Dude, she has to have powers. You know what I'm saying? Because remember, they went to go take the drone, the 80 Stark drone still had power that was crackling from it. So they didn't go get that for nothing. They wasn't like, hey, well, you know, I mean, well, let me go get that. You know what I'm saying? That ain't nothing. Let me go throw that away. No, it still had energy on it. So I believe when episode 8, he took a little bit of I guarantee you they dissected that drone. And whatever entity that he created out of Vision, that's what's going to come. I'm thinking it's Wonder Man. Yeah, I could be wrong. You know what I'm saying? But I'm thinking it's Wonder Man. That Wonder Man is going to debut and he's going to fight that Vision. Or they're going to have what E-Man had is called Double Vision, since it's Project Cataract, which was funny. So it's either going to be, I said this to E-Man during one of his lives. I said, E-Man, I believe that if they took all of they dissected Vision completely apart to figure out how he was created. And plus, they probably still got the machine that I think it was Dr. Chow, the one who had the skin from Age of Ultron that still had the skin graphing machine.
Yeah.
They still have that. So they probably like, okay, I don't know how he got online, but if I can be able to dissect at least the mainframe of the consciousness, I mean, hell, they had Stark do it and Bruce Banner do it. It'd be funny if they did and they basically rewrite everything and have actually Hank Pym is the one who helped create it, like he helped create Ultron in the comics. He creates another Vision or a Wonder Man. You know what I'm saying? Another sentient being like Vision. You know what I'm saying? Because you still got an astrophysics that's missing. You still got technical people that's missing because Hayward didn't create that. Somebody else did.
Okay, so there's some pros and cons with that. The pros is, okay, so there's an interview with one of the creators of the show, and behind her is a model drawing of Wonder Man.
Right.
I don't think that's an accident.
No.
I don't think that's an accident. The only thing is, okay, so they had Vision for 5 years, and they say they couldn't do nothing with him until Wanda took him. So did they make something else in 5 years?
That's what I think. Because if you can't, because remember, Vision was created with the power of the Soul Stone. You know what I'm saying? I mean, with the Mind Stone. And it took that bolt of lightning. That's why they tell you to go. Literally, Disney tells you every episode to go rewatch Age of Ultron, which I never actually had a problem with Age of Ultron. You know what I'm saying? Before, you know what I mean? Because I actually like Age of Ultron. But Ultron got created by just using you know what I'm saying? Using the program of Ultron, the Ultron protocol with Jarvis and a little bit of the Mind Stone.
You're talking about Vision.
I mean, no, Ultron. Remember Ultron when Tony and Bruce had the Mind Stone, right? But they had the scepter. They said
when they first made Ultron.
When they first made Ultron, they was like, you know, it looks like a computer mainframe, but it's a thinking mainframe, unlike Vision. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Or like Jarvis at the time, the Jarvis online protocol. So when you mix that up and you mix it with the Ultron protocol, it basically took over and created its own entity. So it wouldn't surprise me if they tried to recreate that because from Jimmy Woo to Darcy, everybody knows the events that happened in Age of Ultron. They keep giving us the synopsis. Oh yeah, Age of Ultron, you know, I mean, in this movie, you know, you got created by Ultron. It was an Ultron program, you know, and he created.
It's literally like the whole cast has been watching every movie of the MCU along with us.
Right. When Darcy turned around and looked at him and said, you know, I've been watching WandaVision all week. This week, and I was like, so have I. Everybody else is watching it. We have to. You know what I mean? So I believe they created something else. Now, would it be tight if they did the white Vision? You know what I'm saying? Remember the Vision with no conscience? You know what I'm saying? He was just a program. They could do that. I'm personally thinking it's Wonder Man because it'd be tight to have a Vision versus Wonder Man fight. You know what I'm saying? As a finale. They said the finale is going to be MCU quality. So I believe you're going to have Wonder Man. Another thing, who is Evan Peters? We still don't know who he is. We don't know if he's a Pietro from another universe. So we're going to, especially since we're going to get to Agatha Harkness real quick, we got to find out who this kid is.
And are we totally convinced that he's bad? Just because he said Snooper's going to snoop. Doesn't mean he's bad.
But it's the way he ran up on her, though. He was like, Snooper's going to snoop.
But that terribly mean he's bad.
Yeah, because this is the thing. Like, if he was a henchman under Agatha, he wouldn't need to be mind controlled. And you clearly see her when they do the Agatha Harkness thing, which was awesome. It was straight out of like literally the monsters. When they did Attica, it was Agatha all along. I was like, oh my God, this is awesome. This is why I was so mad because it rolled credits. And I was like, you know what I'm saying? Because I was so hyped after that. Was so awesome. But there's something that I'm thinking, right? Marvel has been doing this hexagon thing ever since Guardians of the Galaxy. When they go to different places and they go to nowhere and they go to all these different dimensions, and when they cross a wormhole, it becomes a hexagon that they go through. So I'm thinking because if you watch the episode, like I turned around and watched it on my TV instead of watching it on my phone. So I finally watched it on my TV. You see that when Wanda goes down trying to find the twins, who's probably in somebody's dungeon right now, in that dungeon down there, the aspect ratio changes from the widescreen television view to movie view. So when she goes down there, there's hexagons everywhere, and that's probably a portal to other dimensions, because you don't do the Nexus commercial without the Nexus. Either one is a Nexus to everything, like she's always a constant in reality, or she could be that place is a portal for other dimensions, other things to get in, and she's ciphering Wanda's power to bring people in, because that goes back to the Yo Magic commercial. When you go back to the Yo Magic, you know what I'm saying? We was all thinking, I was thinking, snacking on Yo Magic. Maybe she's talking about Wiccan, because Wiccan unlocked his powers at that particular time, or his dad could die. That was a good contrast. That was a good theory. But also,
but I always felt it was somebody snacking on Wanda's
power.
I always felt that.
Right. Because every episode now, she's getting less and less happy about talking about next time on WandaVision. And this time on oh my God, WandaVision, whatever, roll credits. You know what I mean? So I believe Agatha has been slowly but surely ciphering on Wanda's power. It just doesn't make sense not to. You know what I'm saying? She's been around thousands of years. You know what I'm saying? She clearly has been manipulating everything that's been going on with Wanda, because she knew Wanda was a magic user. And it's funny, Wanda came, so I believe that Wanda created the Pocket universe. She so happened to come in when Wanda already settled down, because you see in the end, she's floating down. Then she becomes the character of the 60s that goes in.
Yeah.
The black and white character.
Black and white.
So Wanda came in there with Dead Corpse Vision. She came in there by herself and created that universe herself. She probably picked up on the energy of the Hex, then came in after her, but like, oh, snap, there's a magic user. You know what I'm saying? Let me go see what I can do.
The only thing is, okay, so in real time, how long has WandaVision been? Like 4 days?
Yeah,
5 days?
About a week. Yeah, she's saying I've been watching it all week, so it's been about a week.
About a week? How long do you think it takes to make that dungeon in the middle of the town?
For her, no time. Well, no, that dungeon was real, and that's in the real world.
That's in the real world, but it's still in Westview.
That's true.
It's still in Westview.
That's
real
true.
World,
yeah.
Inside Westview. Yes. So
that's
it's been
true.
there.
So it's been there. She was just coming home.
Yeah.
But okay, so with what I said with the Evan Peters thing, the thing is that if he was this is what I'm saying, if he was a henchman, she wouldn't have to mind control him, right? To get him to do whatever he need to be, he need to do for her. Because she clearly put her evil wiggly woos on him and had him mind controlled. So did she pull him from that? Because all the hexes in there, it looks like different portals. You know what I'm saying? And then you got this book. Clearly, that's from a Doctor Strange. Here's a missing book from Doctor Strange's Sanctum Sanctorum. You know what I'm saying?
That's clear. That's clear.
And plus, Wong was the one during the time of the blip. He was the only, basically, it was they were few and far between sorcerers left after everybody got blipped. Dr. Strange got blipped, but Wong was still in the Sanctum Sanctorum. So clearly he couldn't tell if Dr. Strange was walking around selling books before Dr. Strange became Dr. Strange. Clearly she went in there and stole something, or she got it from, well, Claudius is not there anymore, or Baron Mordo. Somebody gave her that book.
Wong is absolutely useless. I'm still mad at him for going home in the middle of my fucking Infinity War. This nigga Bruce said, I'm about to make a close part. Oh, I'm about to go to the house, nigga. I'll see y'all later. I'll see y'all next movie.
Yo,
would it be, go to the house.
Yo, would it be tight if during that time, that's when she stole the book, when he was like, I'm about to go to the crib, and then they show her still in the book, and then Wong coming back? Oh, man, that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. Okay, so Evan Peters comes back. Everybody's tripping, man, because they were saying that, oh, well, they think that Monica's under some type of spell because her eyes turned purple. I was like, no, she was looking at the dungeon. There was the purple vines and stuff like that that was crawling around in that dungeon. She's looking at the dungeon, with her spectrum vision. You know what I'm saying? Because if she looks at magnetic pulses and energy, she's looking at the energy that's in there.
Okay, see, I'm not sure if what she looks like changes her eyes, or when she looks at spectrum vision, it's always blue, because her eyes does look purple, but it turns purple as soon as she looks in the basement, even before Evan Peters shows up. So I'm not. I know it ain't had nothing to do with him. You know what I'm saying? Because her eyes were already bluish purple. I just don't know if they were blue or purple, because they kind of do look purple.
Well, you know, because the energy is purple, and I'm thinking she was looking at it like obviously her powers is manifesting. You know what I'm saying? So we don't know the full range of her power, but if she is looking at this particular type of purple energy, it would make sense to look at that energy the way that you would see the energy.
Yeah.
So turning her eyes purple is looking at the energy that's around there. Because if Monica... go ahead. Go ahead.
Also, let me say this. She didn't have that glazed over look that Wanda had neither when she looked at Pietro. You know what I'm saying? She had a regular look.
Right, because she was looking like...
surprised look. But it wasn't that glazed over ass look that Wanda had in the basement.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Because Wanda looked like she got some fire weed for a second, was like, ooh.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? The purple haze. That's the purple haze. Yeah.
So,
you know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm not convinced that Pietro is all bad. I'm not convinced of that yet.
Because let's think about it. Let's think about it.
These theories. Thinking about WandaVision making my head.
So let's think. So let's think about it for just a second.
All these theories.
Would it make sense for them to cast Evan Peters and not really make him Quicksilver? Like, but you can still make him a Quicksilver from another universe. Just say that Agatha, you know what I'm saying, had to pull someone. She accidentally pulled the wrong person. Because you find out that Wanda's the nexus of all realities. That she another person is like that for a time being was Loki. Loki was like that until now, I want to say 2010, to the 2010s. And then they start having like the female Loki. Then they start having kid Loki and all these other type of Lokis. Yeah. Wanda could be literally the nexus of all universes. So no matter what pocket universe you go through, there's always she's always there. Captain America could be the same. There's always a Captain America in every single universe. And it's always, you know what I'm saying, Chris Evans is that Captain America in a universe. Everybody else could change, but the nexus beings are always the same character. They could do that. But with her twin, he's not a nexus. So they could pull different Quicksilvers from any universe and see who they are. You know what I'm saying? So she just so happened just to grab him wiggly woos, you know what I'm saying, and give her the grief and all of that she was looking for.
See, I was under the impression that Evan Peters was just a one of. You know what I'm saying? Because they were talking about that was, you know what I'm saying, that special episode, just like in the 80s, where you get that one of, like when I think Tom Hanks played the uncle on Family Ties or something. You know what I'm saying? It was one of, until he showed up at the end of episode 7. Then that just threw that all out the window. So
Yeah, that's, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying. But so that's what I'm saying.
why
You
would
don't cast it.
you keep
You don't cast
why
it.
would you keep him on?
Right.
If he was just going to be like just a one up and just not part of the X-Men, then that was the perfect way of getting rid of him. But
True.
that's not your uncle. I don't know who that guy was,
Right.
and never see him again. But for him to show up at the end of this episode, so you know he's in the next episode.
Right. So you gotta.
I
Like I said, there's always they said this. Marvel said this in one of the clippings, saying we always wanted to bring back Quicksilver. So you could have easily, if you wanted to really manipulate Wanda, they could have brought back what's his name, John Taylor Johnson or whatever. I can't think of the
real
the original.
Other than merging universes, there's no reason to bring this Quicksilver.
Right.
You had a Quicksilver.
Quicksilver.
Other than merging universes, there's absolutely no reason to bring this Quicksilver in.
Right.
Absolutely. If this is the screw job of the century, I mean, I love WandaVision so much that I'm going to accept that this is the screw job of the century, but that would be the screw. I'm talking about worse than when we pulled up, you know what I'm saying, thinking we about to see Blue Marvel or Mr. Fantastic, and we see this bitch with an ugly ass ponytail and an army suit. Talking about
we already. First of all, I ain't gonna lie, I got mad, but then I was like, she's not an engineer, she's a soldier. Engineers don't wear that outfit, don't wear soldier outfits.
Yeah.
Oh! Y'all really gonna hate y'all gonna hate my engineer theory that I already gave Rico earlier. But Eric Selvin is also a engineer. I mean, astrophysics, and he's an astrophysics engineer.
Eric Selvin.
So Eric Selvin, what? I'm not gonna lie, I would lose my shit if they do this. They show Eric Selvig, you know what I'm saying, come up and be like, yeah, I helped that with the help of my friend, Mr. Richards, Dr. Richards here. Yeah. Hey, I'm Reed Richards from the I'm Reed Richards. How you doing? Yeah, man. Or say, hey, I'm Eric Selvig. This is my friend, Dr. Hank McCoy. Or, hey, I'm Eric Selvig. This is my friend, Adam Bashir. Really losing because that's Blue Marvel.
Okay, so what are these reports about Al Pacino playing a character?
Oh, wait a minute. Please don't tell me you got that from the Cosmic Wonder. No hate on Cosmic Wonder, but no. Let me say this again. No. I love Al Pacino, but this is not the 90s. No. Just like the whole Jennifer Lawrence thing was a rumor. You know what I'm saying? The whole Jennifer Lawrence thing was a complete rumor. You know what I'm saying? So no. Absolutely, positively no. Now, would I like to see older Reed Richards like George Clooney, someone like that, like a George Clooney playing Reed Richards? I wouldn't mind that because I know what type of acting I'm gonna get from that. But would I love still like John Krasinski? Absolutely. Especially they just did the Office / Modern Family episode. I'm just saying.
So then there's this question hanging there, like, who is Paul Bettany talking about when he talks about this Star Wars Mandalorian level cameo of this actor he's been wanting to work with forever? I mean, what is that?
Like I said, if somebody comes rolling in the wheelchair and then Wanda says, "Hey, who are you, Wills?" What is your nickname, Wills? I will love it.
Also, the other burning question. who is the missing person?
I believe. Oh man, I don't know. We still don't know. We still don't. But there's a missing kid. There was a missing kid on the milk carton,
I
and
actually think that was just a
Agatha
nod
kept talking
to
about
that era.
But I don't think Marvel don't. If we've noticed anything about these shows, and especially how Marvel's movies has been, they don't do certain things for nothing. Because remember, Spider-Man: Far From Home, we would have never, ever, ever thought that the guy from Iron Man 1 that was getting yelled at, you're talking about, it was made from a box of scraps, that dude would show up in Far From Home as an engineer to Mysterio. Like, who would have thought of that? Like, literally.
In that same vein, how many screw jobs have we had in the 7 episodes of WandaVision? How many screw jobs? Yeah, they just throw stuff in there. Just throw stuff in there. Throw a whole whiteboard of stuff in there, so because they know we asking 1,000,001 questions.
But I'm thinking all of it. But again, we're also looking at this as a TV show. But me and you actually talk about it as comics because comics intertwine. Just because you have one comic and they're doing a particular event in one comic or one run of comics doesn't mean there's not other tie-ins that connect that particular run in. You know that
they're always building something up and tying something in. Every time you read a comic, I'm talking about every time.
Every single time.
See little boxes at the bottom say, see X-Men number 94, see Fantastic Four number 182, or see, you know what I'm saying? They always have that because there's always a tie-in to another comic book. And that's the beauty of the MCU right now, because the movie always has a tie-in to another movie. Even though you have your reservations about Thor: The Dark World, what was you doing prior to this?
Because I was watching. Because I was watching it, and maybe I treated you too harshly. It's because I had to look at it. It's before it was the progression of Chris Hemsworth as Thor. So once he got to Thor Ragnarok, there was a progression. Like Brat wanted to be king. Got an opportunity to be king, was like, nah, screw that. I'm about to go hang with the homies. Well, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? After Thanos beat the brakes off of us, you know what I'm saying? But I'm about to go hang with the homies. You know what I'm saying? So, there was a progression. So, it's hard because Thor Ragnarok is one of my favorite Marvel movies just ever because it's just so awesome. But I went back just to look at how did the ether work? Because the ether is starting to work like how Wanda's world manipulating, world warping construct is. So I was trying to see if it gave me clues, but it really didn't give me clues because it was talking about the convergence of the 9 realms. So I'm still trying to look for like a hint of what really the ether was really about, and does that play into Wanda's powers? Because it's almost the ether in the way Wanda's powers are is almost literally the same thing.
One note before I get into that, Darcy in that movie. The reason why we were so excited when we saw Darcy in WandaVision was because of how she was in the last time we seen her.
Right.
Because she wasn't in Thor Ragnarok. She wasn't in Thor Ragnarok.
Yep, neither was Jane Foster. So yeah.
But she was in, you know what I'm saying, the Dark World, and she was funny as hell in that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Her and a little intern.
Right.
That was funny. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, Wanda seems like she has the powers of all the Infinity Stones. I know they were trying to tie the commercials into all this, which was tied to the Infinity Stones, which were a stretch by any imagination, even by Mr. Fantastic standards. That was a stretch trying to tie the commercials to the Infinity Stones. But I mean, okay, obviously Wanda can create time, She made time periods. I don't. Is that Wanda or is that Agnes?
I think that's
Making
still
the
Wanda.
time periods.
I'm thinking
That's
that's still
Wanda.
Wanda. Because Wanda is
That's reality. She can control minds. You know what I'm saying?
she literally stopped everybody. I'm thinking she's way more powerful than she stopped everything in their tracks, like Professor X did, in the X-Men movies.
This is what man. This is what she might be stronger than the Infinity if them combined.
That's what
she
I'm
might
saying.
Be stronger than the Darkness combined.
So
you know what I'm saying?
Because remember, it was Wanda that made him rain fire. It was Wanda ran when you took everything from me. I was like, I don't even know. Rain fire. Please hurry up.
Captain Marvel got punched. I don't care what nobody say. He power punched
her
ass to the ground.
You know where they got that from, right? From Marvel superheroes, where you can get a power stone, and knocked her straight out the screen. and they knocked her straight out the screen. Go get your next character. Bring your next character out because we knocked her straight out the screen.
Oh man, which was Iron Man.
Right. So yeah, she got punched. So okay. So what are your thoughts before I wrap this up? What are your thoughts on episode 8?
Well, okay. You know I'm into leaks and all that stuff. I know you don't like them. You don't like spoilers. I don't care about being spoiled. I want to know everything. I ain't got time to sleep. I need answers. Anyway, so I'm guessing 8 might be a flashback / origin story of Agnes. You know what I'm saying? And possibly like maybe flashbacks of how Wanda got a hold of Vision's body, if she ever took Vision's body. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm still iffy on that, and iffy on if she just went in there gangster style and took it, or did Hayward enable her to take it? Because
the video footage looks enabled.
Yeah, for 5 years he couldn't get it to work. You know what I'm saying? So he figured maybe she could. And
but how would she? But how would she? Even though he knows things about her, how would he know that she could get him to work? Because she didn't know. We didn't know that she had. Like, as far as like MCU wise, they didn't know that she can manipulate matter on an atomic level to create a pocket universe, a la Franklin Richards. You know what I'm saying? So
okay, but let's go back to what he did know. He didn't know she got her power from the stone. He didn't know she was under Strucker's experiments. He didn't know that. So he just took a chance. After 5 years of nothing working, you know what I'm saying? After 5 years of nothing working, then all of a sudden all the superheroes come back. You know what I'm saying?
I think he actually perfected his creation, because remember, it's sentient weapons, observation, response, and defense. So you're creating sentient weapons. You know what I'm saying? So the biggest sentient weapon that you could create is the one that was landing Wakanda with his head blown off. So let me find out how it was created. So that's why the parts of Vision is all dissected. I believe they created their own version of Vision, but they needed that one back.
So Drake, let me ask you this: why is Hayward still watching him? Why was he still watching him?
Probably to see how he operates. Yeah, to see how he operates.
Vibranium decay. Watching him just to see. You don't think that was his sentient weapon?
I don't know.
He got another one in the closet.
The only reason why I say I don't know, because they haven't given me enough evidence for Vision to turn the switch. Do you know how messed up it would have been if he turns on the switch and he turns around and fights Wanda, and Wanda got to kill him all over again? Oh my God. She's going to really, oh my God. She going to, and her kids is missing. Man, full on. That's if that's not a villain origin story, I don't know what is. That's a complete villain origin story because she's going to go nuts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She's literally going to go nuts. So she might say no more humans. You know what I'm saying?
And I've been scouring the internet looking at the casting of Doctor Strange 2. There's no bad guy cast for Doctor Strange 2. There's no bad guy.
Right. They have, yeah, no.
Gordo, there's Doctor Strange, the Scarlet Witch.
Well, Barry Mordo is the
guy.
Yeah, Barry Mordo's a bad guy anyway. He was a bad guy at the end of Doctor Strange.
Will he be? Or will him and Doctor Strange have to team up to fight Scarlet Witch?
I don't believe that. I believe he went full bad guy at the end. Remember, he killed what's the dude from Catwoman and who was dancing with Halle Berry? He killed him because he was tired of these people getting power. He was tired of these people getting powers. He was tired of these people getting power. Being magic.
Because he was using magic.
He's using magic.
He was powerful. Using magic. What is Wanda doing right now? Well, she expanded hexes and all that shit.
Well, then he needs to kill Agnes too. But what if he talked to Agnes? Well, what if Brer Mordo and Agnes is in cahoots? Look, I know you want to get your power back. You've been around here for thousands of years. I've been knowing you. They didn't know that we had a connection. That we've been knowing each other for a minute.
Are we sure Agnes gonna last? Are we sure Agatha Harkness gonna last past WandaVision?
Dude, she has.
She has to. I mean, I know. She has to. A big star, but
she has to.
She's gonna last past WandaVision?
Like in comics, nobody's dead in comics.
I know
nobody dies. Nobody dies for real except for Black Widow in comics.
And Uncle Ben.
Wait a minute. Peter Parker guy. He got 8 May, Uncle Ben. He married to Mary J. And then find out.
That was
Peter Parker.
Wolverine told you that was fake. Wolverine told you.
And the results of Uncle Ben being alive, Peter Parker, that was a lie. Uncle Ben's still dead. Oh God, that's the most heartbreaking part of that whole storyline. It was heartbreaking. Oh man, I would have punched Wolverine in the face. You tell me my Uncle Ben ain't real.
Yeah. Not everybody wants to wake up from the Matrix, man. Not everybody wants.
Right. So the teaser for episode 8, Wanda and Vision is going to fight for, I guess, this reality. They didn't really reveal. Marvel is smart. They didn't show their hand on this trailer. So I really
they just showed like Wanda's face. It was a cool trailer, but they really just showed like Wanda's face.
Yeah, and then they
didn't get nothing.
Fight. That's it. I don't know. So would this be the 2-hour? You remember back in the day, like Knight Rider would have it would have a 1-hour show and be part 1 and part 2. The Goliath episode, you know what I'm saying? After he get destroyed, and then Goliath, then part 2, he gets resurrected. So hey.
Is it Kit versus Car part 1 and part 2?
It's just a 1-hour episode. Remember, they just had Trust Doesn't Rust was the first time that they fought each other, and then Kit versus Car in season 3 was the second episode. Which I need to do. I need to do a Knight Rider episode. Like my love for Knight Rider, I need to do one of those. You know what I'm saying, and put it up. But yeah, so we don't know what's gonna happen on. I'm not listening to no spoilers. I'm not listening to nobody, because it was one time there was a certain somebody was supposed to be in the MCU, and I listened to a certain cosmic person, and that turned out to be a lie. And ever since then, I ain't listened to dudes since. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
Yeah, baby. Oh. And who's the guy? You know, I was gonna go on this rant. Who's the guy?
The mailman
who called the GameCube controller a fucking Xbox One controller.
Emergency Awesome.
Do not do a review if you do not know your fucking equipment. I don't even want to hear you after that. I don't want to hear you after that.
When I was watching it on my, because I couldn't see it on my phone, so I watched it when I watched it on TV. I seen the Wii with the cover on it. I was like, oh yeah, it's the Wii controller with the cover on it. I was like, oh okay. Oh, that's why I turned into a Nintendo 64. Why did it have to turn into an Atari though? Like, why couldn't it be a regular Nintendo? Why did I have to go to an Atari?
Because what was before Nintendo? It was 70s.
No, but I'm just saying. Oh well, it was. But then Uno cards at the end. Like, come on,
60s.
come on, man. So I'm thinking, I'm thinking it's going to be the flashback episode. I'm thinking they're going to do a little bit of flashback. I don't think they're going to reveal who the engineer is until the last episode. The real true person that created that band, because then they're going to want to study that band. And to me, that military group was an offshoot of Sword, so they might be Skrulls. So
You think?
that person is probably that person, and everybody hates them because it wasn't Reed Richards or Adam Brashear or Hank McCoy or even Eric Selvig. It could have been a Skrull that's been helping them out. A certain Skrull who was a good friend of hers for a very long time in the Captain Marvel movie. So just saying.
So to sum it up, we need to see what Hayward doing. We need to see what Pietro doing. We need to see what the witch is doing.
Yeah.
And we need to see what Vision gonna do.
Absolutely.
That's a lot. That's a lot. Still, that's a lot. That's a lot.
What I would actually like, and this is probably not gonna happen. If I wanted to go out with a bang, I would do the episode 8, still 30 minutes, right? But episode 9, the finale, 2 hours, movie style, go all out. Because you already been taping this, like, okay, we taped it in all the generations as far as television. Now the last episode is going to be the movie you've been asked for, the WandaVision movie. You know what I'm saying? So 2-hour event, you going I'm talking about everything. Going ham. I'm talking about just like when we watch any Marvel movie, do it like that. And I'm telling you, people will forgive the first 2 episodes that you didn't understand, because you like, damn, look at the way that this ended. Look at the way that this ended. This is awesome. And I think that's the way it should go out. So that way, all the hidden stuff that you've been missing and you've been ducking and you haven't really been talking about, you could do that in the 2-hour movie finale. You know what I'm saying? And do it like how they used to do back in the day when you had television shows. You had the 2-hour finale. You know what I'm saying? It wrapped up the whole entire series. You know what I mean? I don't think they should do a season 2. I think they should, you know what I'm saying? Because you already built these characters. You already have the character development. Now they offshoot in other people's shows. They offshoot in other people's movies. So I think that's the way.
Yeah, this should be a one of. This should be it.
Yes.
It should be a one of.
And like I said, the emails movie review, there was live chat. This is the greatest Scooby-Doo mystery ever.
Because honestly, longevity is really what kills a show.
That's true. You start getting it start getting stale. And to me, when they was talking about making these offshoot shows, it never felt like it was a show. What I think I felt like it was a mini movie that you could tell over time. Kind of like I said, when the original Wanda, Vision and Scarlet Witch comic book was it was a 12-issue comic book. So they gave you a background of these characters, and they never had to rehash that story ever again because it was they already did it. Same thing, almost like what they did with Secret Wars, even though they do have Secret Wars 2, which is not as good as Secret Wars 1. But in Secret Wars, if they would have just made Secret Wars, we all knew it was a toy grab, but the story still had to be there. If they just would have one-offed it and never rehashed that story again, there it is. That's the story. You know what I'm saying? Days of Future Past is another one that's like that. That spanned over a whole bunch of different comics, but it still had its own particular comic run. But once it was over, you never had to rehash that story because it's done. Secret Invasions is like that. So that's what I think they're doing with these shows.
That's what they should do.
Yeah, just most definitely do that. You know what I'm saying? And then let that be. But all right, man. About to go ahead and wrap this up. It's about 12:59 in the morning. You know what I'm saying? So we're past that 221-21 stage, which was dope though. 221-21. That's dope though, because that's my favorite number. Shout out to my man Deion Sanders, even though he wore number, for some strange reason, he wore number 37 in Baltimore. But oh yeah, because it was like I'm 37, so I'm about to play and wear number 37. And
what did he wear in Washington?
21.
He wore 21.
Remember, he retired after a year in Washington because that organization is garbage. And he was like, oh, you know what? I'm done. And then he came back at 37 years old and played for Baltimore. You know what I'm saying? So after they won the Super Bowl. So it would have been nice if he would have played on that 03 or that 03 team, then it would have been Shannon Sharp, Deion Sanders, Ray Lewis, and all of them. So yeah, so go ahead about to wrap this thing up, man. Rico, I appreciate you hanging with you. We always talk. And I got a special gift for you coming in the mail on tomorrow. So, you know, you ain't got to, nobody's going to be able to top this gift that I'm about to send you. So, you know what I mean? So who's your favorite brother? It's going to be me. I'm your only brother. Unless there's a secret mutant child that we don't know about. that we don't know about. But yeah, I got something special coming to you in the mail. So
all right, bro. Well, man, I sure appreciate you having me on your 200th show. I can't even believe that. That's amazing. 200 shows.
200, man. And I didn't even do I didn't even do a 100 show because I didn't even realize how much that I was doing these podcasts until it really hit me. I do a lot of podcasts.
It was on 117. Like, wait a minute, I did 117 shows.
You know what got me? I was looking at my algorithms. I'm like, I'm at 178 shows. I didn't even realize it. That's what hit me. I was like, when I do a 200 show, I'm gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? And then make it special. But again, if you're still listening to me on Facebook, if you listen to me on YouTube Live, I do have episode 201 is going to be tomorrow. That's being Black and Trans in America, starring Amber Moore. So we're going to talk about that and everything else, man. But bro, I appreciate you.
All right, y'all.
All right, I'll holler at you later, man. All right, so this is episode 200. Again, thank you guys for hanging with me on this episode 200. Thank you guys for checking out the Dre Mack Show and always supporting my channel, always supporting the podcast. If you want to listen to this podcast, it's on Speaker Radio, iHeartRadio. It's on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcast from. It's on there. Make sure you guys are checking me out further. And I appreciate y'all. I love y'all half to death. I do this because it's fun and I love y'all. So peace. Shalom to everyone. I am out of this piece.
What's up? What's going on, everybody? This is your man, Dre Mack, with another episode of the Dre Mack Podcast Show.